opinion, I think there's three guys that I'm comfortable saying are three of the five best players ever. Okay. Kareem, LeBron, and MJ.
Kobe had no flaws. I don't like talking about guys' flaws, but if we're talking about the greatest ever, we should be allowed to pick apart people's games. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
The internet straight up exploded. Twitter went absolutely wild. All because one guy finally articulated what he actually witnessed. No filters, no fake smiles. Andre Iguodala stepped over the biggest unspoken line in today's basketball media. And watching Redick scramble to clean it up in real time was insane. Let me walk you through what genuinely happened, because the way this moment unfolded shows exactly where Hoops debates are sitting right now. This wasn't one of those safe, friendly podcast moments where everybody nods, stays polite, and drops the same recycled all-time takes. It was supposed to be a calm discussion about great players until Iguodala decided he wasn't playing that soft game anymore. And once he switched gears, it became obvious why so many players choose to stay silent instead of speaking their minds.
You can't have any flaws.
Because everybody, when they talk about the most skilled players, the same guys always get brought up. It's Kyrie, it's Kobe, maybe Kevin Durant's in there. They don't talk about LeBron. They don't talk about Shaq, because to them, the best player is based on aesthetics, not necessarily performance and effectiveness.
Here's what matters first. Andre Iguodala built his entire career on being a defensive problem people had to deal with. His job was breaking down elite scorers, finding cracks in their game, and shutting them down with precision. He went to war with Kobe Bryant. He battled prime superstars night after night. This isn't some fan tossing opinions from his couch. This is a dude who literally had to solve the puzzle of stopping legends on the court. When he talks about flaws, he's dropping real intel from real NBA battles where every possession mattered and the money on the table was serious. The conversation starts like any calm Hoops chat. They run through the usual legends for the greatest ever. Kareem gets his respect, LeBron's name pops up, and of course, Michael Jordan enters the mix.
But you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% of all.
Everybody's nodding, playing it safe, acting like nothing wild is coming. Then Iguodala drops something you can tell he's been holding in for years, like he finally got tired of staying quiet. He separates the names into a whole different tier, saying Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan stood on a level that even other great players just couldn't touch. And he uses one word that instantly shifts the whole vibe in the room. Flawless. As soon as that word leaves his mouth, you can literally watch Redick's brain start spinning at full speed, because he knows exactly what Iguodala just implied without spelling it out. If Kobe and MJ were flawless, then that means everybody else's flaws, including the guy JJ and half the media have been pushing as the absolute greatest for the past 5 years. And JJ can't let that slide. But here's his issue. He can't actually argue against Iguodala's point because deep down he knows the man isn't lying. So what does he do? He switches the whole conversation. Instead of talking real basketball skill, he suddenly drags the debate somewhere completely different.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit up? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
I twist my ankle and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. You need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
Now suddenly it's about championships. Now it's about longevity. Now it's about eras, rule changes, and every advanced stat he can dig up. JJ starts tossing every argument he can find, hoping one of them lands. And you can see Iguodala just sitting there thinking, that's not even what I said, but go ahead. This is the part nobody ever wants to touch. Here's the truth. When you take away the noise, the fancy numbers, the edited highlight clips, and you look strictly at pure basketball skill, LeBron James is not in the same lane as Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. People can get mad, the comments can blow up, folks can type essays. Doesn't change the reality one bit. And the fact that people panic the moment someone says this out loud shows just how protected this whole narrative has become. So let's break down what flawless actually means on the court. It doesn't mean perfect shooting or winning every game. It means when a professional defender sits down and studies your film for hours trying to find something to target, they find nothing. It means you don't have a weakness a team can build a full game plan around. It means your offensive game is polished top to bottom with no easy gap to attack. That's exactly what Iguodala was pointing to. And that's the gap that separates Kobe and MJ from everybody else in this conversation. Just stop and think about Michael Jordan for a moment. The man had no soft spots defenders could hunt. What was his weakness? And I'm not talking about modern three-point stats. I mean an actual consistent way a defender could shut him down. There wasn't one. You couldn't stop him. He could post you up, face you up, bury the mid-range, slice to the rim, clamp you on defense, knock down free throws, and close games without blinking. There was literally nowhere to hide from him. Kobe Bryant? Same exact situation. Teams spent years hunting for some kind of crack in his game, and they never found it. His footwork looked like it was built in a lab. His shot choices were bold, but he made the tough ones. His mindset never broke, and his free throws were automatic pressure killers. Now, we get to the thing everybody tiptoes around. LeBron James, wide open, steps in his spot, airball. For all his greatness, and yes, he is great, he's got real, obvious gaps in his game that people see, but refuse to speak on. His free throw shooting stays unpredictable. And in the biggest moments of his career, he's at stretches where those free throws just don't fall when they matter most. That's not an opinion, that's on record. His handle is solid, but it's not in that elite category, and everybody's seen him lose the ball in massive moments. His outside shooting got better over the years, but nobody fears it. No defender is staying up at night worried about LeBron's jumper. They're worried about his drives and those wild laser passes he throws. Here's the part people get uncomfortable with. In clutch moments, LeBron has passed up shots that Kobe and MJ would have taken instantly without a second thought. And again, that's not hate. That's something you can literally watch happen. There are full compilations of LeBron giving up those shots. And before someone says that's just smart basketball, look at what that actually shows. It shows even he knows his shot making isn't at the level where he can just force the issue the way Kobe and MJ did. Those two lived for that pressure. They called for the ball. They wanted the moment. That's a mentality difference that means something when you're talking about being truly flawless. And here's why this conversation turns into a war every single time. For the last decade, there's been a huge push to crown LeBron as the undisputed greatest ever. The media locked in on that angle. Analysts built entire careers around promoting it. And now admitting LeBron has real flaws makes their whole narrative shake like it's about to fall apart. So instead of keeping it real, they go after anyone who points out what's right in front of them. They call it hate. They say you're stuck in the past, and they pull out a stack of stats like numbers magically tell the whole truth. That's exactly what JJ Redick represents in this moment. He's not just riding for LeBron, he's protecting a whole style of judging basketball that leans on advanced metrics instead of trusting what your eyes see on the court. To the analytics crowd, LeBron's efficiency, his assists, his longevity, all that makes him the obvious pick. But Iguodala comes from a different reality. He comes from a world where you actually stepped on the hardwood and had to figure out how to stop somebody in real time. And in that world, the answer couldn't be clearer. Kobe and MJ gave you nothing easy, nothing predictable, nothing to expose. Let me break it down like this. If you're an NBA coach planning to slow down prime LeBron, what's the move? You load the paint, force him into jumpers, and hope he gets shaky at the free throw line in the fourth. That blueprint has been around for 2 decades. Does it always shut him down? Of course not. He's still an all-time great. But the blueprint exists. Now try that same approach with Kobe or Jordan. What's your plan? Double them and they'll slice through it, or kick it out and reposition. Play them rough and they'll hit the line and knock down free throws like machines. Give them space and they'll pull up right over your head. There's no real answer for those two. And defenders have known that forever. That's the real difference. And this is exactly why the whole debate gets wild so fast. LeBron supporters instantly sprint to rings, finals runs, scoring records, all that resume stuff. But look closely, they always switch the topic. It's never centered on pure one-on-one skill, never about raw ability. It's always about team achievements, longevity, and numbers. That alone tells you everything. If LeBron's individual skill set was flawless, that would be the first thing people bring up. But it's not. So the conversation always moves somewhere else. Iguodala knows this better than anyone because he lived through it. He spent nights trying to slow down legends, and he knows exactly where the gaps are. When he says Kobe and MJ were flawless, he's not trying to be dramatic. He's sharing what he learned from real experience on the court. And the fact that this simple truth created such a loud reaction shows how uncomfortable people get when someone speaks honestly about these debates. Now here's another layer to the whole thing. JJ Redick has become one of the loudest voices in modern basketball media. He's got a podcast, a massive platform, and he's locked himself into the modern analytics mindset. For him and people like him, greatness equals stats, team success, and long careers. And by those rules, LeBron sits at the top, maybe even number one. But that's not the system Iguodala was using. He was judging greatness with a simple question. Can I find a weakness in your game? And when it came to Kobe and MJ, the answer was always no. That's why the moment turned tense so quickly. JJ wasn't just disagreeing with Iguodala's take. He was rejecting the entire way Iguodala measures greatness. And by doing that, he exposed the real divide in how people talk about basketball. One side values the eye test, the skill, the craft, the mental fire, the pure art of the game. The other side leans on stats, efficiency, wins, the trophies, all the polished resume stuff. Both sides swear they're right, but only one side is willing to admit when a player actually has weaknesses. So let's go deeper into what flawless means from a defender's point of view, because Iguodala wasn't talking about hype. He was talking about pure offensive completeness. Can you score from any spot on the floor? Can you create off the dribble with no help? Can you punish smaller guards in the post? Can you shoot over long defenders without blinking? Can you finish through real contact? Can you knock down free throws when the whole arena is watching the clock? Can you close the game when everybody knows the ball is coming to you? Kobe and MJ checked every single one of those boxes. There was never a matchup where defenders felt comfortable or safe. With LeBron, there are certain scenarios. Make him shoot late free throws, make him create from the perimeter, make him settle for contested jumpers. Those aren't automatic stops, but they're way better chances than anything you'd get against Kobe or Jordan. And across a whole career, those small differences stack up. They show up in huge moments, and eventually they become part of the story. Now here's where it really gets interesting. This debate isn't just about ranking players. It's about who gets to shape the legacy conversation. For years, the media has been pushing one storyline. LeBron is the GOAT, the argument is finished, and anyone who disagrees must be a hater. And most people just rolled with it because challenging the narrative felt pointless. But then someone like Iguodala steps in and says, actually, no. Here's what I saw. Here's what I know. And what he said is completely different from what people keep getting fed. And that's dangerous for the narrative. That's exactly why JJ had to push back so aggressively. Because the second fans start talking about skill instead of blindly repeating the media's version of greatness. The whole conversation flips. Suddenly, it's not about who played the longest or who reached the most finals. It becomes about who was actually better at basketball. And in that kind of talk, LeBron's flaws get way too obvious to hide. The free throw numbers alone change the entire discussion. If we're talking flawless, Kobe at 83.7%, Jordan at 83.5%, LeBron at 73.5%. That's a huge gap. 10 percentage points in tight moments. That's the difference between walking out with a win or taking a loss. And this isn't some tiny detail either. Free throws are uncontested shots. You literally get a clean look with nobody in your face. If you can't be elite at that, you're not flawless. Simple as that. But every time someone mentions it, people get heated because it cracks a story they've been repeating for years. It forces fans to look at the actual game instead of trusting whatever certain analysts push. And a lot of fans don't want to do that work. They want someone else to hand them a GOAT, and then they defend it forever because that's easier than thinking. Iguodala didn't pick the easy route. He said what he truly believed from real experience on the court. And watching JJ scramble to twist and reshape the entire debate in real time was wild. It was proof that the truth hit a nerve, because if Kobe and MJ are the only ones who played without real weaknesses, and if greatness is supposed to be judged by true completeness, then LeBron slips out of that top spot. And a lot of people just can't accept that. So instead of dealing with the point, they attack the whole framework. And this moment exposed something bigger. We've gotten so busy protecting our favorites that we can't even talk honestly anymore. Every debate turns into fan bases fighting. Everything becomes stat dumps, resume battles, and endless comparisons. But Iguodala only asked one simple question: who had no weaknesses? Who was truly complete? And his answer came out crystal clear. 2 names, nothing more. You can agree, disagree, pull up your numbers, claim greatness means something else. But you can't deny that Iguodala said it with full confidence, backed by years of guarding these guys for real. He didn't care who got offended. That kind of honesty is rare now. And that's exactly why this moment exploded the way it did. At the end of the day, this whole debate reveals something bigger about how we talk about sports right now. People want to be right, not truthful. They want to protect their narratives instead of actually breaking things down. And when somebody finally steps out of that routine and says what they truly believe, everything turns chaotic. And honestly, maybe that chaos is needed. Maybe we do need more people willing to speak straight instead of sticking to the safe script. Iguodala drew a line. Kobe and MJ on one side, everybody else on the other. You can argue about where that line belongs, but at least he had the backbone to draw it, which is more than most people in media can say. Drop your real thoughts. Were Kobe and MJ truly flawless, or is perfection impossible? Smash that like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend who loves basketball.